Steppin on the beach, the only place to read your emails and tweets. It's Wednesday, January 6th. America is hanging on by a thread right now, but we are here to talk some hoops and have a laugh and maybe take your mind off the craziness that's going on in this country right now. My God, hope that everyone stays safe. Well, not everyone, actually. The people that, never mind. I'm Jay alongside me. Oh, my God. Host of the hit new YouTube show, What You Need to Know. It's Tass Mellis. What's up, Tass?
What's going on, guys? This feels so weird. So weird.
What? Having five of us?
Yeah.
Right. We got the Bassmaster ripping them lips, Trey Kirby.
Hey-yo.
Hey-yo. We got the international man of mystery taking it to the max, Lee Ellis.
Friends.
Lee. Last but not least, making the magic happen is JD.
Hello.
There he is. And here we are. Shout out to the stream team joining us live right now on YouTube. Appreciate you. Like, comment, subscribe, do what you got to do. It is nice, man, to have the full Voltron going here, though. All five guys. Tass, I know a lot of people are just going to be asking right away. So let's just address it.
Yeah.
How is the what you need to know going on? Why is it happening? You know, I know we're trying to answer people like that, but people are like confused. So set the record straight. What the hell's going on for those that are?
Well, we're just trying something new. Just trying to expand the brand, give everybody a little more room to breathe, some room to talk, and we'll figure it out from there. That's all. Simple as that. Just giving you something new in the feed.
And so far, so good, man. You and JD are doing a fantastic job, and people are really liking it and getting it up as early as possible. And it's a great little recap. I'm loving it. 5 to 10 minutes every morning, Monday through Friday. So check that out. It's on YouTube. It's also in your podcast feed. So subscribe. Mm-hmm. All right. Hitting the beach. It's been a while since we've read your questions and answered your questions. So let's get to it.
Here we go. Hey, I had to get 50 plus this season, and it got me wondering, who do you think will be the next player to score 50 or more? And who are some players you predict will reach that 50-point milestone for the first time this year? Thanks for all the laughs during quarantine. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome. Fuck WW84. Whoa, Alex Horton. Whoa. If you haven't seen JD's review of WW84, make sure you check that out on YouTube as well. Alex Horton coming in strong, just like JD did. JD put it a little bit more eloquently, I guess. But Skeets, what do you think?
This is two questions. So the first one, the next 50 burger, put me down for Kyrie Irving. I'm not going to overthink this. Oh, did I steal your answer? I hope I did.
Thought he was going to get it last night, to be honest with you.
Right. He put up, 29 in 29 minutes with no KD. He already has gone for 37 prior to this, earlier this season. So he's done 50 before. This is not far-fetched, I don't think, especially with no KD in a close game, because that was a blowout there against the Jazz for him to, get to 50, hits a bunch of threes, can get to the line. So that's my guy to do it next. But my first timer, I got a double, triple, quadruple down on Tim Hardaway Jr., baby. That's right. He's never done 40, let alone do 50. But man, he's had some monster first halves. People get all excited. Everybody starts tweeting me, "This is the game, Skeety. This is the game." I say, hey, he struggles to put two halves together. But he did go for 30 the other night versus the Rockets. He hit 8 threes.
Yeah, he was hot.
So, he's a streaky shooter. And no KP there still. He's going to get his shots up, and he can catch fire. So I just got to continue with my first guy to do it being Tim Hardaway Jr. I can't change that pick now, because ultimately if I did, then he would do it, and then I'd feel like a fool. So that's who I'm going with. Kyrie, Tim Hardaway Jr. Lily, who you got?
Yeah, Kyrie, he's the smart one, especially with Kevin Durant out right now. Probably another 2 or 3 games that Durant won't be there. You just feel that Kyrie has got the potential to do. He's done 50 a couple of times already in his career, and when he does it, it's so much fun to watch. So I'm going to also just jump on that bandwagon and say I think it's Kyrie. The guy who's going to do it first, though, I'm torn. I've got 2 guys, and it could be either one of them. I'm not sure which one, but both have had 40 in their last 2 games. In fact, one had his career high against the Raptors just the other night. Jason Tatum. I think it's just a matter of time before he or Jaylen Brown goes for 50. I think it's probably going to be Tatum, more likely. Brown can do it as well. He had a huge game over the weekend there, but I just think with the way the Celtics are as well, especially they're a little bit shorthanded, but even if they're at full strength, Jason Tatum has got so much to his game. He can get to the free throw line, he can get inside, he can hit that 3, and he's taking his game to another level right now. So I figure it's just a matter of time before Jason Tatum cracks 50, and I think he's going to do it this season.
Good pick. Who you got, Trey?
We're all just going to be picking the same guys here. I had Tatum and Brown on my list as well. Like you're saying, Lee, 42 and 29 for Jaylen Brown earlier this week. That's putting you pretty close. Donkey Kong, he's going to get one eventually. He'll have a 50-point game. A random guy, someone who hasn't been mentioned yet, Colin Sexton. He's averaging 25 a game. He's shooting 55% from 3 right now. A ridiculous number, but he's 40% for his career, but he's only taken 3 threes per game so far in the 2021 season. So maybe he has a game where he gets super hot shooting there. Colin Sexton, as Dwayne Wade said, has figured it out a little bit here. At least he's figured out how to be an effective scorer, an effective creator. I can see him hanging a 50 job.
All right. Sexton, half of Sexland. Good pick. Oh, that's thinking outside the box. Who are you going with, Tass?
Well, I'll jump back to the Mavs and Tim Hardaway. Trey just said him. He called him Donkey Kong. I've never heard that before. Has he been called Donkey Kong before? Luka Doncic been called Donkey Kong?
I think that's the very first time ever right there. Just innovating nonstop here at No Dunks.
It's crazy week here at No Dunks. Yeah, Luka getting to 50 is, I don't know, you kind of expect it, and it's kind of surprising that he hasn't gotten there because he always gets the James Harden comparison, who always, drops the 50-point triple doubles. Luka's got a 42-point career high in the regular season, but 43 in the playoffs. So he's almost there. He's almost gotten there before. But they share the ball so much, and he does like to pass it to Tim Hardaway, and Timmy likes to fire. So I don't know when he'll get there, get to 50. I guess it's inevitable at some point.
Yeah,
a deep, darker one. It's in the sort of the Tim Hardaway vein. It's Seth Curry this year. Seth, S-E-T-H, because he's been playing on the ball a lot with the Sixers. And I think that, if Ben Simmons, does bring up the ball, he likes to distribute. So maybe Seth can get there. It's a deep one because Seth's career high is 37 last season, but I could see it happening. You squint and you could see Seth doing it.
All right, let's hear from you guys. Always a fun question. One we do a lot every year. Who will be next to get to 50? Who will join that list? Let us know in the stream team. Tweet at us at No Dunks Inc. Your answers for the 50 burgers. All right, next question. Howdy, gentlemen. Last night over dinner, my wife and I were discussing the very strange font on the Cavs City Edition jerseys, and it got me thinking. At some point, the Cavs need to go full meta and put out a jersey using the infamous Comic Sans font from the Dan Gilbert letter. Maybe they could even put a picture of burning a LeBron jersey at center court. Wow, that would be a little extreme. My question, what other infamous moments from NBA history would you like to see immortalized on jerseys? That's from John in Maryland. What do you got, Trey?
What a lovely couple here. Just sitting there over dinner, talking about jerseys, talking about fonts. Incredible stuff. For me, I would like to test the idea that everything that is old eventually becomes cool. And the way we're going to do that, the Dallas Mavericks are going to bring back their silver jerseys that they wore for a couple of games a million seasons ago. These are hailed as probably the worst jerseys in NBA history. We talk about light blue jerseys looking super duper sweaty. These look like they were just dripped and drenched in sweat before the game even started. So I would love to see the Mavericks bring them back. These teams are getting new City Edition jerseys every single season. So bring back those silver jerseys and do it against the Brooklyn Nets so Steve Nash can see what he really looked like playing in a shiny trash bag of a jersey back in the day.
Okay, crazy pick. Lee, where are you going with this one?
Well, I thought one of the most memorable moments of NBA Finals history is, of course, when Allen Iverson steps over Ty Lue. So I think the Sixers and the Lakers, when they play, they can have a special City Edition jersey, just Iverson stepping over Lue whenever the Sixers play the Lakers. You know, I wouldn't change the font so much, but it's more just you can make it a whole night. You know, the step of the night, Iverson's back in the building, and everyone gets a T-shirt, and everyone goes crazy. People remember the old mannequin challenge. Instead of doing that, you do the step over challenge and all that sort of stuff, just to make a whole big night of it. Okay. Would you do it when the Clippers are in town? Sure, why not? Ty Lue's the coach, see if he has some fun with it because, because there's a photo going around. Remember, someone's got that on their T-shirt with the Ty Lue in a photo. And Ty Lue kind of looks at the guy. He's like, I think you're making fun of me, but he sort of gets into the photo anyway. So I think there's something there. I think that Lakers and Sixers have had quite a historic rivalry as well. So I think it'd be a fun thing to do.
I'm going to go with one of the most infamous moments in NBA history, maybe the most infamous moment, the Malice in the Palace. But here's what we're going to do. The Pacers jerseys, and they got to play the Pistons, of course, they're just going to be like torn and like ripped like Ron Artest's jersey, which if you remember was like really low. And again, it was ripped a little bit. It's that infamous photo of Ron Artest at the time, just after brawling in Detroit. So that's what the look they'll have to wear. They'll just be very, very loose, very flowy that night. But they're the same jersey.
V-neck, basically. It looked crazy. But yeah, I think they were wearing the pinstripes, right? The Pacers pinstripes. That looked great with a nice stretched out neck, a nice bacon neck.
Yeah.
They're in the game. Sure. Everybody feeling loose out there, shoulders on display. I would love it.
Oh, maybe then. Yeah, because it's a bacon neck, they have to play the Hornets. And wait, is he on the Magic? I remember where Dwayne Bacon plays.
He's on the Magic now, but Michael Jordan would appreciate seeing the bacon necks as well as a Haynes jersey. Right. If those were Haynes jerseys, they'd be looking a lot tighter.
Yeah, okay, so that's what I've got. What do you got, Tass?
I would put LeBron's block of Andre Iguodala from Game 7 of the 2016 finals. I was going to go 2017, but it's 2016 finals. I think that would actually be something the Cavs do because they try anything. I don't think it's that crazy for one night just to immortalize that, just to praise that moment. It's their championship. So, just go with the most popular thing. The most popular thing they've ever done is win a championship. You'll make defense cool for a second. LeBron will promote it. Doesn't get much better than that. The biggest player in the game promoting it. And I think it'll actually look pretty good. Andre Iguodala's shoulders up at his head. He's got a no neck as he kind of shrugs and he tries to get it past LeBron. And it's their biggest moment in franchise history. I know Kyrie's shot is up there, but I don't know. It's always the debate. Is Kyrie's shot bigger or is LeBron's block bigger? And LeBron would be happy, I think, to get behind it. So, yeah, the Cavs are crazy. They would try it.
I can't believe Lee didn't go with Rolando Blackman, Confidence Baby Confidence, some variation on an All-Star jersey or something like that.
Yeah. I didn't even really think about that one. It's funny because I guess you it's not the Mavericks, is it? It's the All-Star game. So how would you do that? Just put on the jersey, you mean, just in the font? Like, sure. Yeah, they should bring those uniforms back, actually, too. They have great uniforms. So
there's some awesome old All-Star jerseys that need to be back in the mix and stop doing what they're doing. But we're not going to have an All-Star game this year, so it doesn't matter.
You bring up an interesting point, though, Tass, with regards to the Cavaliers. If they ever do want to bring back a throwback jersey from their championship year, they were playing in sleeves when they won the championship. Are they really going to do a retro sleeved jersey? That seems kind of crazy to me, but who knows? If the Mavs can bring back some silver jerseys, maybe the Cavs can bring back black sleeved jerseys, and everything that was a bad idea will suddenly be a good idea.
Yeah, it's the Cavs obviously tried everything that year. Like if they threw in something into the rotation like that, like Braun blocking Iguodala, no one would bat an eye because they just do everything. They try everything in Cleveland. It's like they had 40 jerseys that year. I'm convinced that they had a lot. They had extras that they probably wore for like 3 games. They're like, they're in the locker room. This was a failed design. Let's just throw them on. And they weren't approved by the league. I don't know. They'll try anything, man. They would try. Yeah, but the sleeve, it is weird. You think about a team won a championship, that game in sleeve jerseys.
Yeah, and the star player on that team seemed to hate them because all he did was like try and stretch them out and looked like he was trying to rip them off half the time in LeBron. Which is the other weird part.
All right, next one. Hey, yo. After the last few Warriors games, I'm considering going all in and purchasing a condo on Wiggins Island.
Oh,
yes,
wow.
It's back. Haven't had an Andrew Wiggins question in at least a week. Here it is. Fancy stopping by for the weekend or even purchasing your own plot? Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome. Feel free to add your own funny outro. That's from Danny. Danny, I love it. I love it. I'm getting frequent flyer miles with the amount that I'm going to Wiggins Island. You know, I go, I come back, but I think it is time. I'll get a little condo to just fly in and out because you got to fly off Wiggins Island at times. But Andrew Wiggins, I think he is looking perfect in his role. I think he is a superstar in his role right now. And superstar's too far. But he's playing fine. I think Steve Kerr understands that you got to force Andrew Wiggins to be involved in the play and not just kind of hang out on the perimeter. Mm-hmm. And he's doing something different. Zach Harper has a great little article about it on the Athletic, that you force Andrew Wiggins to bring the ball up and run a pick and roll, and he has to be in the play. And he is creating a very good amount of points per possession on those possessions. He's playing really well when he does that. Now, could he score better? Yeah. But he's shooting the ball at 39.4% from three-point land. That's a very good number. That would be a career high for him by far. He's making some really nice passes. There's some passes where he gets underneath the hoop and he finds somebody way out at the three-point line, straight above the break. Like, that's not a Wiggins pass, but he seems to be buying in. Again, that field goal percentage in general, he could score a little bit better. But I think, after a little bit of a slow start this season, I don't know. It kind of goes back to when they traded for him. It seemed like a good locker room for him to be in when Draymond Green would come in and kick his ass and say, Andrew Wiggins, we need you to be better. Yeah, Draymond Green said, hey, he could be defensive player of the year last year when they traded for him. Yeah, okay, that's a little bonkers, but I don't know. I'm going back to that sort of feeling that it makes sense chemistry-wise. So, I'll have a little flat, little condo, something there.
May I offer you a Subway franchise? Would you like to open one? Maybe you're in a condo. Maybe there's some, commercial real estate on the bottom. You could put a nice Subway sandwich shop in there.
Yeah, why not, man? Why not?
All right, great.
I'm hungry. Let's shred some lettuce. I'm looking forward to them playing the Clippers tonight. I don't know. It's kind of hard not to be on just on the bandwagon for the Warriors right now because they're a fun watch, and you love them or hate them. They're fun right now.
Lee, what do you think? I mean, we know you're on Wiggins Island. You're like basically the mayor at this point of the island.
Yeah, I was. But you know what? It's actually probably a good idea now to buy in because you can sell this when he has his little 3 or 4 week run there where he looks like a superstar because we know it's coming. We know it's going to happen. And that's when you sell. You sell high then, and then you get out of there. You cash in your chips and you run and you never return because he's just such a frustrating player for me. He's got all the talent in the world. He's got that athleticism, the ability to rise up over defenders and shoot virtually unchallenged shots. He can shoot a three. His mechanics are fine, but he just, for too often in games, he has to sleepwalks through whatever he's doing. And the fact, Steve Kerr is forcing him into plays, yes, it's good because it gets him involved, but it's kind of like if you don't use him in that way, you just know he's just going to be hanging around out on the perimeter, not doing a whole lot. So at this point in his career, it's very, very hard to see how he's ever going to take that step to superstar level. He could be a decent role player if he ever figures things out properly. But to me, it's just like it's just so much wasted talent, really. And he's just a frustrating watch for me. Very, very frustrating watch. And Ron Bays here in the stream team says, is there a swim up bar at Wiggins Island? I think that's
yeah, it's looking good. I'll tell you what, too, the Wi-Fi is much better on Wiggins Island than it is at Lee Ellis's house right now. If you're joining us,
am I struggling?
You're struggling for me. I don't know about the other guys.
Yeah, definitely
choppy. But I get your point about Wiggins, and you're there. You're stuck there, man. You're not going anywhere. Hey, he had 5 assists his last game. That's good for Andrew Wiggins. That's really good. And, he actually is doing a decent job defensively, getting some blocks. I mean, he's like making an impact there. And like you said, the shooting from distance is on. The bar is so low for Andrew Wiggins that, he has an 18-point game and he shoots 50%. Everyone's like, hey, great. It's awesome. That's good. And that's fine, especially when Steph's cooking and Draymond's back. But what do you think, Trey? Are you going to be purchasing a spot on Wiggins Island?
Oh, it's a no for me, dog. Yeah. I got 3 close friends who already got places there. There is no chance I'm investing my money because I think we had this exact same conversation in the first month of last season. Talk about Andrew Wiggins. Wow, look at him creating for others. Look at him shooting a great percentage from 3. That's what he does in the first couple of months of the season. That's how he gets everybody to invest in his property. That being said, I am heavily invested in Oubre Oasis. What's the difference between Wiggins Island and Oubre Oasis? They both seem like they should be a lot better. They both should shoot better percentages, and they both can do some cool-looking things on the court. It just doesn't happen enough. So yeah, ride the Wiggins wave while it's happening. Perhaps I'll be able to steal away for a weekend or something like that. But an investment, no. I've been burned by a house investment once upon a time, and I don't want to have to deal with being a landlord once again. No, thank you.
It's a bit of a nightmare. Maybe our friend Daryl, you can borrow his prop plane from Oubre Oasis to zip over to Wiggins Island for, like you said, for a weekend. Look, yeah. I mean, it is funny. We were talking up Wiggins last year. That's how the whole, for whatever reason, Subway sandwich shop thing started on Wiggins Island. But he was playing like twice as good as he is this year. And again, that's the bar just dropping. He was on actual fire there for I felt like a month. Maybe it was probably 3 weeks with the Wolves before he got traded to the Warriors. And yeah, now the bar's super low. Anyway, he's playing fine. He's playing better, and that's good. Next question. What's up, Dinkies? No Dunks topped my Spotify chart this year, but this is my first Beach Steppin email. Every time y'all mention the Hornets on the pod, I get so excited just to become sad moments later when I realize you're saying no one watches a full game of Hornets basketball or something like that. I watch so much basketball, including every game of the Hornets all season long. Always sad when my team is just a meme in the league, though maybe LaMelo Ball will get us some more fans this year. What's something you guys genuinely love that everyone around you makes fun of? Cheer up, cry a lot, Jordan. That's from Katie. What do you have, Lee?
Well, on the basketball court, free throws and layups. I really appreciate a good layup. Everyone else likes the big high-flying dunks, and I just like good ball movement that leads to a high percentage underneath for a layup. I mean, that's just my thing. And I even get people on Twitter saying sometimes if I'll post a highlight, someone will say, "Oh, wouldn't you have preferred it if it was a layup?" And I'm like, "Oh, probably." I mean, it's not that I'm against the dunk. I'm not anti-dunk. I just like I like good teamwork that leads to a good basket. And I think we all know my feelings on free throws. The loneliest place in the world mentally is to be on the basketball court. So I like it. And then off the court, well, there's a couple of things. Bar 3. I think you guys have come around on that, though. For a while there, it was a lot of people made fun of that until you guys came and tried it out. And then you realize, whoa, this is tough. So there was that. And then there's the uncooked carrots as well. I just think uncooked carrots are just a great snack. But you're laughing at it right now, Skeeter.
Well, it's more of how you refer to the item. I like carrots. I love carrots. I've just never heard carrots, raw carrots, called uncooked carrots. That's all. That's the weird part, mate. But those are all fine answers. And you're right. As we talked about, bar 3, a very difficult workout.
Weren't expecting it though. Weren't expecting it.
My legs are still shaking, man. Still shaking. Years later. What do you got, Taz?
Well, after the vegetable melody of that answer, where should I go? I love my recycling bag. And let me tell you about my recycling. I have a bin that I put my recycling in. Mm-hmm. That bin has a bag. Every time I take out my bag to the bin outdoors, to my big bin, I dump all my recycling in. I bring my bag back. And I never throw out that bag. That bag is like years old. Okay, not that far. It's not that far. But yeah, Danielle hates that bag. She thinks it smells. I don't. I do throw it out every once in a while, but it's gone so far that I take out my recycling at my mother-in-law's house. I grab the bag out of the bin, I go to the recycling bin, I come back with a bag, and she's like, "What are you doing?" She wants me to toss that bag. No way. No way. There's no chance. So I love my recycling bags. I keep them with me wherever I go. You don't need to throw it out. There is some residue, obviously. It gets soiled a little bit. Sometimes I will turn it inside out outdoors and flap it around a bit, make sure nothing's on it. Maybe I'll leave it outdoors for a while to dry off, but then I bring it back in its rightful spot in the recycling bin. I'm just not throwing it out. No chance. No way.
See,
then you might ask, why don't you just throw your recycling in the bin? Well, then you got to wash the bin, and that sucks.
Well, I mean, what I do is go ahead.
I was going to ask if this is a recyclable paper bag.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask, because that's what we do. Yeah.
No. So you keep everything in a recycling paper bag?
What we are doing now is this is I know the people want to know. We use those Trader Joe's paper bags, right? That we get our groceries in, which I like. And then I'll use one of those under the sink. That'll be the recycling bin or bag for that week. And then when it's full, take the whole thing out, put that in the recycling bin, and then replace it with another one. So you just always got to have, of course, bags in store.
Yeah, well, that's great. That's great because you're never throwing out a bag.
Right. Well, what do you mean?
Garbaging a bag.
Yeah.
Right. Yes. I mean, it says on the Trader Joe's bag, right? Reduce, reuse, recycle. And if you're reusing it as a recycling bag, you're hitting two of them out of the park right there. That's back-to-back jacks. I'm 100% with you, Skeets.
Right.
I don't know. I guess we're all dad bags right now talking bags because, Task, we save every, stupid plastic bag that we have here. We buy a package of tortillas. It's like, we're saving that. That's our Ziploc bag for the next week. Or an empty bag of bread. Wow. Suddenly you're dipping in. Yeah, we have too many bags. We have an insane amount of bags around here. So I don't know. Maybe we can do a bags giveaway. I'll mail you an empty plastic bag. Taff will send you a stinky bag to your house. Anything to get out of our houses.
Lee, what are you doing over there? What's your recycling strategy?
We use compost now for our compost, and then recycling. We just put it all in the bucket and take that. Our compost is always way full. Sorry, not compost. Our recycling is always way fuller than our trash. We have one trash bag a week. Basically, that's all it is.
That's good.
But the recycling is full.
But always. Then, so you're just taking it, dumping it out, and then taking this bin back in.
Yeah. Because we just get so many boxes. You got a lot of bags. We got some boxes. Maybe we can do a trade here, Trey. You have bags for boxes.
Wow, you're gonna have to throw something in. To really entice me, Lee. I can't wait to just hear from Matty Austin from after this. He's gonna definitely send us a text message. Hey, your bin is your bag. One of his all-time favorite things to say after an airport experience where we just had a guy yelling that at us for a long time.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get kicked off the show here again, bringing up recycling bags, the most boring topic in the world. But God, does it feel good taking a bunch of plastic bags to your local plastic bag station and recycling them, because you can't recycle plastic bags a lot of the time in your own bin, but you can take them somewhere. Oh yeah, why not? Why not just throw in 1,000 bags in your car and just let them open the windows, let them fly around a bit in your car. It might slap you on the head. It might cover your head on your way to the plastic recycling situation. But it's fun. It's fun to recycle. Oh God.
What's something you genuinely love that everyone around you makes fun of, Trey?
Well, honestly, I used to make fun of Lee Ellis for this as well, but I've made the switch to boxers during the pandemic. I can't believe it. I don't know why. I just started as whatever, I'm not doing anything that's super important. Work for me is coming downstairs to my bedroom, sitting in a chair and talking to my friends. Sometimes I have to go upstairs and talk to my family. It's not a strenuous activity, so I'm happy to just enjoy it, live life loosely, if you will. Boxers, they're not as bad as you would think. We've kind of been in the anti-boxer wave for 3 decades at this point, at least 2 decades, I would say, since the boxer brief really took over. But Mark Wahlberg has had his time in the sun as the Calvin Klein spokesman. It's over, baby. We're back to boxers.
Yep. Welcome back, Trey.
See, everyone will still make fun of it. And I think you're right, Skeets. You're making the right call here to stick with some tidy blueies. I know you like. But for me, It's all about that broadcloth, baby.
Oh, wow. No, there's just too much fabric going on down there.
I'll wear a big pant now. I'll wear a big old pant.
And you're tucking your shirt in now. You know how much fabric you have around your waist right now?
Yeah, it's 100% true. I've got a lot of fabric around the waist.
You let it all breathe too. I think that's important. Don't keep everything too tight down there. Let it breathe. Tighten it up when you're doing physical activity, but otherwise, it's free, man. Just let it breathe.
Man.
Well, to spin this into like an NBA question from Katie here, because she referenced LaMelo, and they are the Hornets. I think a more enjoyable watch, and LaMelo's had some great games already here early in his career. But do you have an NBA Rookie of the Year frontrunner? Task, like, is there one in your mind, or is it so close? Like the top 3 picks are all playing well. I know Halliburton was playing really, really well before his injury. There's a couple other guys that are contributing. Is in your like right now, I guess, who would get your Rookie of the Year vote is the better way to ask it.
Yeah, there's no one running away stat wise,
No.
but I think just sort of perception wise, I think James Wiseman is taking it in Golden State. His numbers are probably comparable to Anthony Edwards, and they're sort of comparable to LaMelo Ball in terms of points per game. But I think in the end, the LaMelo flash isn't going to win it. The voters are going to say, all right, he's flashy, but I think James Wiseman looks like the best NBA player at this point. So I think he would take it. I think those are the 3, though. I think the scouts did pretty well. The top 3 in the rookie rankings are the top 3 picks in the draft: Wiseman, Edwards, and LaMelo Ball, even though I just changed the order there, 2, 1, 3.
Yeah. Edwards averaging nearly 14 points per game. LaMelo about 11.5. Same with Wiseman. Obviously, he has the rebounds. LaMelo's like 11.5, 5 and 5 right now. And then only a couple other rookies that are averaging over 10 points per game. Lee, can you name them? I'll give you one because we mentioned him, Tyrese Halliburton.
Right.
There's 2 more.
Is Williams, Patrick Williams?
Patrick Williams is 10.1 right now. And one more, he plays for your favorite team in the league.
Yeah, quickly.
That's right.
Yeah.
Quickly, point guard of the Knicks. Which, I mean, he would be in the mix. I mean, I don't think there's anyone running away with it either, but he's played great. He's only played 3 games, so he's like half the games the other guys played. Who would you pick, though, Lee?
Yeah, I think Wiseman right now is in the lead because the problem with LaMelo Ball, maybe this doesn't factor into it, but he comes off the bench as well. It would be weird, I think, to see a rookie win it coming off the bench, while the other 2 players, Anthony Edwards is looking fine out there. I mean, he needs a little bit of polish to his game, but he's athletic. He was good last night. His shot isn't great. But I think he's showing that he's certainly not a bust there at the number 1 pick there for the Minnesota Timberwolves. But I think James Wiseman's had the most ooh-ah moments so far as far as rookies go. I mean, more so than LaMelo Ball, because he's had a couple of those big dunks and some highlight plays like that. So I think, considering that he's shooting like 46%, not a big surprise considering he shoots a lot around the basket, but he has been hitting that 3. And the fact that the Warriors are playing okay, he's probably been, given Draymond's been out, he's probably been their second best player in Golden State, I would say, this season so far. So
that's fine. You agree, Trey, or you go someone else?
It would be Wiseman for me right now. The only other name that I would say is even in the mix for an all-rookie team that you're seeing in the stream team quite a bit is Peyton Pritchard, who has established himself in the rotation for the Boston Celtics. I don't think he's really in the mix for Rookie of the Year, but the fact that he has become a rotation player for a playoff team is pretty solid. And I think he'll be, there's always some weird names that you see on the second all-rookie team at the end of the season. He could easily be on there, but maybe he works his way to the first team, depending on how long a guy like Halliburton is out. Halliburton would probably be close to the top of my list as well right now, but the injury throws him off when you've only played 6 or 7 games.
I'll throw some love to Cole Anthony, too. And the Magic, who's playing really, really well for them in I don't know, probably 20 minutes per game, but he's contributing too. He'd be on that short list of rookies doing well. But I think ultimately, I'd go Wiseman right now. Edwards has impressed me. Maybe I wasn't that high on him as the number 1 pick. He's not shooting amazing, nor is LaMelo, of course. But I'm like, whoa, yeah, he's there. I can see why now he's number 1 pick, and he's so damn athletic. So he's at least intriguing for sure. All right, let's get to our next question. Sorry.
Yeah, and it stinks that Killian Hayes got hurt there.
That's my rookie of the year pick.
But yeah, there's a couple now. Hayes and Halliburton. Is another H going to get injured? Hopefully not. Next one here. Hey guys, I've been listening to you for 10 years since Grantland featured one of your episodes. When you released your mug, I showed it to my wife and told her I'd listened to Skeet say a version of this basically every day since before we'd even met. Wow. This morning it was in my stocking. Wow, it looks awesome, and I'm looking forward to using it. And I just wanted to pass this story along. I appreciate your energy and commitment. I had a rough first month of the lockdown this past year, and my nightly routine to get through it became a walk every night while I listened to your show. No basketball question. Just want to say thanks and share my excitement. That's from Seth in Los Angeles with the Good Morning Sweet World mug.
Nice. Yeah, JD, I saw you making a coffee the other day, and that it must have tasted extra coffee-like.
It was sweet. It tasted extra sweet, and I didn't put any sugar in it. It was beautiful. Beautiful.
Are you saying the Good Morning Sweet World mug is basically the magic spoon of coffee mugs?
I am. No sugar, and it's very hard to believe. It's very hard to believe.
Well, thank you, Seth. And yeah, go get your No Dunks merch, nodunks.com. And we're already whipping up some new t-shirt ideas already in the works. So we're going to be bringing them all season long. So yeah, nodunks.com. Thanks again, Seth. I'm glad you finally got that mug. That's fantastic. Next question here. Hey guys, there's a number of NBA buzzwords, which are often assigned to guys as adjectives. So much so that when you hear the word, it makes you think of one specific guy. When I think of energy guy, I think of Montrezl Harrell. When I think of a streaky shooter, I think of Danny Green. My question, who do you guys think of when you hear other buzzwords like locker room guy, microwave scorer, and 3-and-D wing? That fun question is from Rory Lee. You got answers for Rory?
I think I can knock it out with one theme, actually. Now I'll just quickly, for anyone who isn't aware of maybe this basketball jargon, I'll say a locker room guy is usually like a leader, a veteran who's been around a little bit. Not the best player on the team, but he's highly respected amongst his teammates, his coaches, opponents, and has likely had some success along the way. And I think that's a Serge Ibaka role right there in LA, because I think Serge has achieved a lot without being an all-star. And a big part of the reason why the Clippers went after him, I think, was because he was close with Kawhi Leonard in Toronto. And I think that could perhaps, the Clippers thought, as good a player he is, Serge, he could also maybe bridge a little bit of the gap between Kawhi Leonard and some of the other players on the team who maybe feel a little bit sort of isolated from Kawhi. So I think that's kind of a part of the role there that Serge was brought into play in Los Angeles. The other one there, the microwave scorer. Well, do we use microwave scorer? I mean, I think it's a guy who comes off the bench and fills it up pretty quickly. I think that's quite clearly Lou Williams. That's what he's been doing. 3-time Sixth Man of the Year. He goes out there and can just get you a bucket. Often finishes games as well. That's what you want, a guy who at late in the game can score the ball, can hit those threes, can drive inside. Has a bit of a funky game as well, a little bit tough to defend. And I think that's Lou Williams. We know he hits that sort of gliding, fading away sort of shot that he's got that he's made his own there. And then the 3-and-D wing, well, again, this guy tends to be a good defender, but if he's going to be on the court all that time, he needs to work on something for his game, and he needs to be a good three-point shooter. And I think a guy who you saw hit 6 threes last night, Patrick Beverley, is really that guy there in Los Angeles.
Whoa.
Well, he is. I mean,
wing.
Well, yeah, I mean, he is. He sort of defends guys bigger than him at times. I mean, that's where he thinks he's a great defender. He thinks he's like the lockdown guy. You could sort of argue whether he is or not, if he's maybe a little bit overrated and a little bit feisty. But I think he fits that. I think this one was really started. Bruce Bowen is probably the first guy to really stand out for this in San Antonio,
100%.
Where he would just sit in that corner, hit those threes, and then defensively they would put him on, not the big on the other team, but certainly on one or two of the guards and maybe a small forward as well. So I think that's where it comes from. And so I think the Clippers have got all 3 of those right now. There's plenty of others around the league, but I looked at the Clippers and I thought, bang, bang, done, job done.
All right. Task, do you agree or disagree with any of those picks, or have someone else, I guess?
Yeah, Lou Williams is a great one. I think, the 6th man also has to struggle a little bit on the defensive end, right? Like he has to be just a sort of a one-trick pony, and Lou can do it all on the offensive end, but I think it's a perfect pick. Although I haven't used the term microwave in a long time for a basketball.
Since Vinny Johnson?
Yes, exactly. Decades, for sure. The locker room guy is interesting. I agree with Lee. It's got to be somebody who's done a lot in the league. Some great comments here in the stream team. Udonis Haslem, a perfect one, an absolutely perfect one. I think of Dante Jones, though, with the Cleveland Cavaliers, because LeBron said, hey, get in here. I want you in my locker room just because you're a rough and tumble guy. And he is more of a, hey, get out there and foul somebody. That's the LeBron thing. He wants somebody tough in his locker room, tough on the court. It's the old school way of thinking. You mentioned Malice in the Palace. It's very similar to those, tough ass teams. That's why he wanted Kendrick Perkins on his team too. So I think Dante Jones, maybe because LeBron made it known that he wanted somebody like that. The Rory mentioned Danny Green. I mean, he's a perfect 3-and-D guy, but I think his 3 has escaped him the last couple of years. So I think Sir Robert Covington is my prototypical 3-and-D guy now with the Blazers. He's that's him. That is exactly who he is. He's the perfect guy on that end.
Yeah, PJ Tucker comes to mind for that one. Trevor Ariza in years prior. Covington is that's sort of where mine immediately goes for 3-and-D wing too. Who do you got, Trey? Anyone else?
Well, I read this a little bit differently than you guys. This I came up with my own buzzwords and the players that are associated with that. Short shorts. Who else but John Stockton? That's what you think of when you think of short shorts, even though Jeff Hornacek was out there wearing the same old tiny shorts, looking like me in boxers out there. Tall socks, Kerry Kittles and Keith Van Horn, the old 1-2 right there. I was wearing tall socks in 8th grade for literally no reason. And another thing that Danny Green is known for, whenever you hear the hammer play, hear about somebody talking about the hammer play, I will always think of Danny Green rushing down into that corner, Boris Diaw whipping a lefty pass, seemed like it went out of bounds, somehow found Danny Green wide open to knock it down for the Spurs. So the Spurs popularized that play. Hammer play is always going to be a Danny Green, Boris Diaw specialty to me.
That's good. I liked where you went with this. Yeah, coming up with the other buzzwords. Any other buzzwords, Lee, that you throw around a lot on our podcast here you can think of?
I'm trying to think.
Mr. Very Solid Play.
Lockdown defender. Is that?
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's a rational confidence guy.
Not bad.
Oh, yeah.
Around a lot.
That's
a guy.
I like one we've heard a lot lately, I feel like, is dunker spot. You hear about a guy that has to play in the dunker spot. Sometimes it's Ben Simmons, which is weird because for me, when I think dunker spot, Chris Anderson is the first guy I think of, except for he didn't call it the dunker spot. He called it the bird box. That's before bird box even came out. But remember when he showed up to the Heat, he didn't miss for like 6 weeks or something like that because all he did was hang out right there on the baseline, wait for LeBron or D-Wade to throw him an oop and dunk it.
Good stuff. All right. A couple more questions.
Good afternoon, No Dunkers. It is the afternoon. This is my first time writing into y'all, and I got to say that you guys are amazing. Truly the only podcast I listen to, so therefore, you are the best podcast I listen to. I was watching a sports talk show this afternoon that covered the NFL. Now, since it is far less superior than the No Dunks content I've become accustomed to, I began to zone out and scroll through mindless content on my phone. It was then that it hit me. That it is quite the catchy tune I am hearing. But I feel as though I've heard it before. After closer listening, I realized that's the No Dunks intro song. I was left with an overwhelming feeling of being duped, a blindside, going home with an idol in my pocket feeling that shook me to my core. I love the No Dunk show, and I claim that as your song. So to hear it elsewhere, it's just not what I was expecting. I want to pose the question to you guys. When was the time you felt duped, blindsided, or as if you are going home with an idol in your pocket? Rip lips, backflips, tortilla chips. That's from Louis K. in Oak Park, Illinois. And shout out to Trey and the Illinois squad.
That was a beautiful little ending right there.
Yeah,
rip lips, backflips, tortilla chips. Banger.
Yeah. And the going home with an idol in your pocket, of course, referencing Survivor, happens from time to time. You got the idol. You don't want to play it, though, because you're looking ahead to the next vote, but that's when they get you. I got to play those idols when you got them. Great question. I'm actually going to go back to, when would it be now? 2019? March 2019. I think I have that year correctly. We're asked to have a meeting. We're the starters, of course, at the time. We're asked to have a Friday meeting with some of our higher ups. Okay, a little weird, we don't, or like we were talking to them every month or stuff like that. But we were, coming up on a contract negotiation. So we thought, hey, maybe they're going to say, well, we're working on it. And, we're looking forward. We're crunching the numbers. We'll have something presented to you in a couple months, all that. We didn't really know what was going on, but you know where this story's going. It's a Friday meeting. The door closes and it was, sorry, guys, we're not going to be, picking up your contract again, not going to be extending you or doing another one. And it was like, whoa, because we thought we were killing it. We had just talked to our agents. Yeah, things are going well. People are starting to know the show. It's growing in popularity. We were feeling pretty good about having another couple of years at least with NBA TV and Turner Sports. And then we were like, whoa, that was a blindside. Maybe for some less than others, but for me personally speaking, Matty O always sees the writing on the wall. I'm sure he would beg to differ with me. But
yeah, if you thought we were going to hear from him from your bag is your bin, we're definitely going to hear from him now. But yeah, I'm with you, Skeets. I was shocked, and I was honestly a little bit embarrassed to be wearing a Survivor immunity idol around my neck when that happened. But we had no idea.
Well, yeah, I mean, Scooter started reading the votes, and we kept coming up starters. By that, we had enough votes, and we were voted out.
Maybe Tass was wearing the immunity one because he was back on NBA TV that year.
That's a secret immunity idol.
Yeah,
back pocket.
No doubt.
That's right. So
I wasn't even in that meeting.
so yeah, that one for me, that was a definite blindside. That's always we were fine, loving what was going on right now with our show and where we're at with the Athletic, but it was no doubt thinking like again. No one is saying otherwise that, we're not doing well and the numbers aren't there and we're growing the fan base and players that are coming in are knowing the show. And it's just, you felt like we were on the right trajectory. And then it's like, no, sorry, guys, we're not going to be renewing. You're like, oh, okay, then. So, yeah, that's my answer. What do you got, Lee?
Yeah, well, speaking of the starters, do you remember it was in our first season where I saw a really nice play from Marc Gasol bounce past to Nick Calathes, and I went for a layup and it started a debate about what's a very solid play or not, and then that became a regular feature on our show.
Right, I would say it's too sexy.
Yeah, every single show from then on for the remainder of the time there, I had a very solid play of the night. And about 18 months, I think it was, before we maybe a year, I don't know, before we did finish up there, a new idea came down from, I think it was the NBA, that said they wanted to highlight plays that didn't involve dunking. And it was called the Heads Up Play of the Day. And the way it was described was exactly what I had been doing for 5 years. So rather than take that and just say, all right, let's just make the very solid play, the Heads Up Play of the Day. Instead, it was like, oh, we've got a Heads Up Play of the Day.
Right.
And I was like, I mean, that's just my thing. That's the only thing I do, and that's my thing.
That's all he has. That's all he is.
I mean, I had T-shirts made. I had John Collins coming on the show doing the 2 thumbs up.
You know what your problem was, mate? Sometimes you got too sexy with it, and I tried to warn you. I tried to warn you.
I just remember when Matt, I think it was, came in and told us about that, and I remember looking at the little sheet thinking like, I mean, isn't that what I do every single episode? I guess not. I guess either someone was paying attention and they just decided to say, all right, we're going to take that. It's a great idea. Or they just never watched the show and they thought, hey, we need to highlight some non-dunks. That's what it was. I mean, that's what it was. The Heads Up Play of the Day was never a dunk. So, and sometimes I think we had the same play, very solid play, and the Heads Up Play of the Day was the same.
Embarrassing, yeah.
Hey, just to twist the knife, Lee, the person who came up with that idea is probably still working at Turner and making all sorts of money with those original ideas stolen from you.
I feel like I've been on Shark Tank, and when Kevin O'Leary and someone has an idea and Kevin O'Leary says, I could just buy you out and fire you though, couldn't I? And just take your idea. And that's basically what happened. They took my idea and then got rid of me.
And then they are just rolling in money at NBA TV thanks to the Heads Up Play of the Day.
Well, I haven't seen it this season actually, so I don't know.
Well, they just wanted to bury you. They basically bought it and then just closed the company.
Exactly, I know. But anyway.
Did they have an announcer at the end instead of putting up 2 thumbs? He just goes, Heads Up Play of the Day.
Good little segue. There might be a little something this weekend. Look out for. This could be very solid. So
I'm not interested unless it's called Heads Up. If I'm being honest, now catch your name. What do you got for this one, Tess?
Every time I listen to dubstep music, it's just not what I expect. You know?
Go on.
It's changed over the years. You know, dubstep was rooted in reggae music. It is. Its roots. Its roots are reggae music. Yeah, but it's not anymore. Nah. It's just electronic beats. It's like EDM and stuff. You know, it's just, and then obviously it's like 90,000 sounds in one within like 5 seconds. You know. But it used to be different, and I just wanted to go back to a little drum and bass, a little D&B. But now it's you know what it is. It's too much. It's too much. I mean, it used to be different. JDSC shaking your head. It was.
I know. I agree with you. It's now they're just, as they say in the writing biz, putting a hat on a hat. It's just like let's keep it simple. Let's just keep the traditional.
Putting a dub on a step.
Right. It's like putting heads up on a VSP on a layup.
It ain't broke.
Okay. Well, JD, do you have an answer?
I had the exact same answer as you.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was a pretty classic.
Wait, me or Tass? You had the same answer as Tass? You had the dubstep answer?
No, of getting fired.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
it's a classic blindside. Kudos to them, right? Like hashtag blindside. We should have searched the room for an item. Maybe.
Is this doorknob? Does this doorknob come up? Can I play this? Scooter, can I play this to save us? No.
Do you think there was a clue hidden somewhere in the catering room?
Wow.
Should have been searching.
Well, I mean, yeah, there was like a fake ceiling that room we were in. It was like we were on a show. Should have realized it.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you have an answer, TK? Same answer?
No, I totally saw it coming. JK. My answer's dumb. The Slam magazine Nets cover that said Nets by 2001, champs by 2001, count on it. I counted on it. It never happened. Like I said, I was wearing tall socks because of Kerry Kittle and Keith Van Horn. I was ready, man. I would have had that magazine framed. The Bulls were bad. 2001, the dynasty had ended. I needed a new team to cheer for instead of Cornell David and Brent Barry. No offense. I like him now, but back then, not good. So they put out this awesome cover. You got Kerry Kittles, like I said, Keith Van Horn. Sam Cassell was the point guard, future friend of the show, Kendall Gill on there. But then they never won a championship, as I'm sure you noticed. But that was a team that I loved to play with, like in NBA Live 1997 through 2000. Maybe throw on a Nets team. They should have been better. Didn't work out. But, maybe this is the year. Maybe they should have said Nets champs by 2021. Count on it.
Wow. You should go back and have that. It's in the small print if you look. That's what it says. It's on the cover there. All right. Great answers. We got one more here before we wrap this bad boy up. Hey, no dunkers, if that's still what you're called. Yes. I've been following you since you were featured on Grantland way back when, but due to various circumstances in 2019, around the time of your free agent / no dunks transition, I stopped listening for several months. However, I don't want to miss any of your excellent content or inside jokes, so I've been slowly trying to catch up. And as I write this, I'm exactly 1 year behind. I'm looking forward to all your 2020 takes regarding Kobe, his passing, the unprecedented weirdness over the summer, and bubble wrap. My question is, what is something you refuse to take a shortcut to do, even though doing so wouldn't actually affect anything? Thanks. This is my favorite part of this email. Thanks. Hope to hear your answer in a few months. That's from Josh in Chicago. Yes, by the time he gets around to this Beach Steppin podcast, he'll be like, sweet. My question. And our answers. Trey, go ahead. What would you say for this one?
I follow a ton of vintage shops on Instagram. They're all over the place now, and I love the look of you're scrolling through, and it basically looks like I'm looking through my father-in-law's Boilermaker clothes. I'm loving the distressed Carhartts, and I'm like, I'm not going to spend $100 on a pair of Carhartt pants just because they're distressed. I'm going to buy me a pair of $40 Carhartt pants and wear them every single day until they're actually beat up and they look like my body. I got all this fabric around my waist right now, trying to blow out the waist. But yeah, for me, I bought who hasn't bought a pair of distressed jeans? Who hasn't bought a pair of shoes that looks like they've been worn before or something like that? I prefer to do it myself. My favorite pair of jeans I have, they started distressed, but I earned the paint spots on them, man. Those paint splatters were from painting a house. When you have the character in your clothes, it's really worth it. And it's a fun little journey. I've actually washed my Carhartts twice in the past couple of weeks, and it seems to be working. I don't know. Clean clothes somehow look more dirty. It's great.
Okay, I gotta ask this because I'm an idiot. What is a Carhartt? What are you saying? A Carhartt?
Carhartt's just like workwear, just like very heavy workwear. If you see
Never heard that.
the brown is their classic color, Carhartt brown. So if you ever see me wearing a brown jacket and brown pants, double browns, that's Carhartt.
But
baby.
that's a brand?
That's a brand.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's a brand. Oh, okay. I was like, I have never heard this term for those items of clothing. My Uncle Al is wearing those 24/7.
There you go.
Working on it. Yeah. Oh, I'll get you a photo. I'm sure his Carhartt looks amazing.
Oh, you got to holler at Uncle Al. You could be running a multi-million-dollar business here, Skeet, selling Uncle Al's pants. Al's pants on Instagram. I would follow that in a second.
Okay, there might be a little side hustle here for us. I'll talk to Uncle Al. What do you got, Lily?
Well, two things I do around the house that could save me a lot of time if I did them quicker is drying my clothes. I never ever use my clothes dryer. Just hang them up clothes horse. I just prefer that. When we were kids in Australia growing up, like mum and dad we had a dryer. Mum and dad never ever used it. Even in winter, we would just put the clothes on the clothesline. But when I moved to Toronto, one day I was hanging clothes up in the backyard on a clothes horse. And I was telling, I don't know how I came about. I was telling someone, they said, "Did you know that's actually against the law to do that?" And I'm just like, and he's like, "No, I'm serious. Like, it's against the law because it's considered unsightly to put your clothes outside." And I'm like, that's just ridiculous. I mean, they're clean, they're washed. Right. Like,
okay. Look at these beautiful boxers. There's nothing wrong with them.
Exactly. They're colorful. They're bright. They're fun. So it was against the law. I thought that's just ridiculous. But anyway, now I just get the clothes horse out always. Hang the clothes up, and doesn't matter how many clothes I have, I can always find a way to just hang them on there. So it takes about 24 hours and they're all dry and they're ready to go. So it's great. And the other thing is washing the car. I hate using a car wash to wash a car. You know why? It's never thorough enough. You know, it can do the basics, but your tires, your wheels are always like not done properly. Lower on the car too, the base of the car there. It's never cleaned properly. So you spend your $10. It only takes 5 minutes these days. They're pretty quick. They used to take a while back in the day. But now I'm just like, it's $10 down the drain because I've got to go and wash my car again anyway. So I have to go home and I wash it. And now I hardly ever use drive-through washing machines.
Oh, well, we just talked about NBA TV. What about Irving in the Turner parking lot? That guy did a thorough job.
Was awesome.
He did.
That was awesome.
And
it was like
cheap.
$30 too. Was it 25? That was inside and outside your car. Yeah,
inside and outside. Yeah, he took a toothbrush to those rims, man. He did some serious work.
Oh God, I missed
Did he ever get Did he ever get his credit card machine up and running?
No, the credit card machine was amazingly always down. So cash will work. When's the machine gonna work? I'll get it working next week. Never did. I wonder why. But man, yeah, that was a great service. And the best part about that, let's be honest, no waiting around because you're at work. Drop the car off in the morning and then pick it up at 5 o'clock. Parks and you're in the best parking spot. You're on the lower level.
That's huge.
I washed my car every day for 6 years. I parked on the lower level. It cost me a fortune.
When you got fired, you yelled out, "Oh my God, where am I going to wash my car?"
Right. I was upset.
And you got to be parked by the Scooby-Doo van. Oh, that was sweet.
Yeah, down there, the back, exit both ways so quickly. Oh, what a spot! Shout out to Irving. What do you got, JD? You got an answer for this?
Well, I asked Rachel this question last night, and she basically said a shortcut. Literally nothing. You never take a shortcut on literally anything. I'm very meticulous when it comes to doing anything, really. Especially when it comes to like reading a book. Like I won't even want to accidentally open at the wrong page where where I'm suddenly reading ahead. Even if I don't know what's going on, or if I read a comic book, I'll like purposefully just get tunnel vision and look at that one panel and just read it all.
You won't let your eyes wander to the rest of the page.
I won't wander to the. I have my eyes trained to start at the top left and work my way down. It's a sickness, really.
Wow.
Or video games, I'll never like skip a cutscene, or I will explore every nook and cranny of every single thing just because I don't want to feel like I've missed anything. By the way, I went to the Carhartt website and I just love. They're just keeping it real. Look at that. This is the front page. Is that Uncle Al?
No, Uncle Al's like no. They take two Uncle Al's to make that man right there.
Why is he wearing a vest? I mean, what's the point?
Well, that's a Carhartt vest.
He's not even wearing it. It's just blowing off it.
Boy,
That's an awesome front page, though. That's what they're selling. So is everything that man is wearing Carhartt?
Well, I'm seeing the logo on the sweatshirt and on the vests. I'm guessing the jeans are Carhartt too. Looking at my man.
What about the helmet?
Oh, that's a great question.
Gotta be.
We gotta get this guy to be our No Dunks merch model. Basically me. Maybe it'll just be me.
You think that's a real? You think that's a model or a real man?
Oh man,
Both.
they want us to think he's a real man, but I think this is Hollywood all the way.
Yeah, I think it's George Wendt. That's Norm Peterson right there.
Yeah, kind of.
That looks like one of the miners that was hanging dong in Chernobyl. They got him a pair of Carhartts and said, "Put some pants on, guy." Trust me, you're gonna want that heavy fabric when you're working long hours at the classic factory. I'm so sure. Need to be wearing work pants to be making a podcast.
Well, I hadn't thought about that dong scene in Chernobyl in a long time. But thank you for bringing that up.
What scene is that? Is that
Because they're really hot in the mine, so they all they won't bring fans in, so they all just work naked. So and then you just see this glorious shot of this man walking towards the camera, and it's impressive.
They're all wearing two hard hats in that scene. Oh man, Carhartt. I didn't. Well, now I'm happy. I know how to spell Carhartt. It's two T's at the end.
Yeah.
2 Ds, yeah.
Excellent. Who hasn't answered this? Tass, what do you got for this?
Yeah, I got an answer. When I go through my Instagram stories that I'm watching people's stories, I will never skip a moment. I watch all 15 seconds of every person's Instagram story.
Come on.
Just to punish myself.
No way.
Yeah, and it's purposeful because either I watch every single second or I mute their stories. It's one or the other. It's one or the other. If I hate it, I'm muting it. If not, I'm watching every single story second. Wow.
So you must have a lot of muted accounts.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because stories they're kind of boring sometimes, you know?
Oh God, yeah.
It can be.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's why I'm trying to filter it out. I'm trying to filter my feed.
That's smart because they still, even if they're boring, they're just addictive. You see that little, ring colored up, and you're like, it's right there. I might as well click on it. I can't help it. I don't know about you guys. I'm sure I'm not alone. If you got that app open, you're just like ding, 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 ding.
Oh yeah,
the mute's the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
Not a big stories, guys. Anyone ever fleeted? What is it?
No, I actually, out of spite, I refuse to, and I've never clicked on one.
Yeah,
I don't know why. Something about it angers me. It's like
it's exactly the same thing, though. I think, isn't it?
Yeah, but Instagram was the same. It was a Snapchat thing. Now we're cool with stories. Now we're cool with it on Facebook.
But I can't have stories everywhere.
There's stories on YouTube.
You've got a story on. I've got a story, but you've got a story on IG, and I've got a story on IG, and then JD's got a story on YouTube, and I've got a story, and 3D's got a story. We all got stories. I get it.
And Stan Van Gundy's got a story. He's on Carhartt.
Crazy. Great questions, guys. Hope we distracted you here for an hour. I'm almost terrified to stop talking to you guys and turn back on the news, but back to reality. Keep your questions coming, though. NoDunks@theathletic.com. Subscribe to No Dunks on YouTube and Apple and Spotify, wherever you watch or listen to the show, and like and comment and send us stories. We're into stories actually across all platforms. Grab your No Dunks merch at Carhartt.com. That's HARTT. I don't know. Yeah, .com. No dunks. There he is. That's our guy.
Oh, I love this guy.
Look, rugged man. NoDunks.com for your No Dunks merch. Thanks for joining us here. To everyone in the stream team, thanks for listening. We will talk to you on Thursday a couple times. What you need to know from TAS as early as possible in the morning to recap a very busy Wednesday night here in the association. TAS, you're in trouble. You got 11 games to try and recap in 5 or 6 minutes. Good luck, my man. Good luck. No, you're doing a fantastic job. And then we'll have the Daily Show, 10 a.m. Eastern, live on YouTube. So 2 more coming at you. And then Lee's already teasing something on the weekend, the heads up video of the day, heads up story of the day, Lee. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Maybe I'll just post it on stories. You got to check out stories. You see the very solid heads up play of the highlight of the night.
Right. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us, Clip Rose.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Oh, it's my turn. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And remember, I'm still on the show.
Praise the day, people.
You could stay